Right, hello chat, hello. You will have to forgive me, I look ever so slightly flushed, due to something I did today called going outside. Yeah, somebody snuck the sun on me. I don't know what happened, but it randomly became summer at some point. So now I'm ever so slightly sunburnt. Yes, we are back with more words, more word slop. Word slop continues apace. Let me go for a sport quickly. I love just the. Oh wait, hold on. The rain's changed. The ring point listed now. There used to be 4 Rhines there. I am curious to see who's the most spammed. Only 1 Malfaust. Wow. There's a lot of Don support. That checks out. Yeah. Honglu actually has a decent spread to him. Almost no Ishmael support. I'm assuming it'll be mostly whatchamacallits. Wall purchase IDs that get the most things. There's a lot of Otis as well. And then I can't click on Gregor because Gregor is still stuck in hospital. You'll be using this as background noise? Well, I hope it's good background noise for you. Anyway. The heck? They just swiped everything that wasn't nailed down, huh? Fret not, I espy thither half thy worldly possessions. Articulated figurines, video game cartridges. I'm looking at my toy box, K. I had hell many of them anyway. And my TV's gone too, the couch too. As Grisly said, only conspicuous empty space was left for the television and family couch set used to be. Oh, those? LC research told them away. From the sound of it, they're going to set up in the staff lounge. As to the leather and ornaments, they said they'll be selling them off. Yeah? I just seemed to notice something. The moment she caught Kira's wistful look, corners of her lips caught into a faint smile as she spoke with feigned nonchalance. Who knows? With sufficient cooperation, maybe they'll become more receptive to the idea of returning those items. Assuming much, I never said I wanted them back. Anyway, I'll tell you about what I know, so come this way if you want in. These 2 doors here, made from paper and wood, they connect to Escort. And that one reinforced with steel, that one leads to V-Corp. Back streets where, having lived here and made frequent use of the doors herself, Kira is clearly the right person for the job of identifying where each door Wayfarer company had asked us to explore led. Directed by Kira and accompanied by Alan, we check the doors one by one. Good work. All data seems to match. Thank you for your cooperation. Until there was just one back door left to open. I know this isn't anything new, but I gotta say, these back doors are just too bloody convenient. Them portals too. It ain't doing anything shady like that warp trains either, is it? Yours is as simple as turning the knob and entering. Seems to me you'll outpace your business rival in no time. I'm a bit hard-pressed to argue with the too convenient sentiment when it comes to using back doors and portals, but since your intent was to claim Wayfarer's superiority over the current W Corp, I'll take that as a compliment. Did I say something wrong? Every technology comes with a cost, Heathcliff. Happily said. Whilst this is in the workday relatively free of casualties thanks to the quality information you've provided, do understand that Wayfarer Company's primary services include pathfinding, path security, and path maintenance. Each of those services is fraught with life-threatening dangers for our employees. Some never return after embarking on a pathfinding journey, some are killed whilst battling monstrous entities whose exact natures haven't even been confirmed yet, that appear in the liminal space between paths. Hello, Frosty, hello. Would that be Marseille or Maze? I'm not quite sure. Hello either way, welcome to the stream. It also costs a pretty penny to keep the secured path, well, secure. I'd say our operating costs are rather on the steep side, especially considering we're also trying to prevent our rivals from taking this corner of the market. Mace? Okay, Mace, cool, thank you. Thinking back, I don't think I've ever seen actual proper use of the word liminal. True! Thinking back, I don't think I've ever seen Alan enter a door to a new location with his helmet off. It must be one of his precautions, just in case. Maybe his dry smile and unsettling lack of reaction to anything are hints that he's simply seen too much to be fazed by most horrors. It's a pun on mass hysteria. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Cool, thank you. Still, our work's gotten considerably easier for this job thanks to the help from everyone here. Honestly, this partnership is working much better than I expected. Very well then, let's take a look at the last door. That's the door Papa used to walk through all the time. Fully carried to the door, and the second I crossed over the threshold, a breeze carrying an oddly familiar, salty smell tickled the tip of one of my clock hands. This one connects to somewhere in the general lake area, it seems. Oh no. Welcome to U-Corp's giant stingray portrait. Stingray, huh? Why does that ring a bell? Hang on a minute. It's that place, isn't it? That portrait that has Celandum Mollusks? No, it would be Mollusk. The Mollusk. The private hair salon. Heathcliff tried him with a shudder, as though the sheer weight behind his words terrified him. Ooh, doth thou signify it then that we shall finally be made audience to young Heathcliff and his hairdo most luscious? Quit it with that luscious nonsense, lass. Why encourage me now when you're so cavalier about blasting my villainous ass back at the lake? Hey Coops, what do you think of the upcoming Ricardo Cliff ID and Sweepers announcer? I think it's cool, but as somebody who doesn't run Envy Res, I've not paid too much attention to it. It's Gebra's birthday today. Oh, is it Gebra's birthday today? Wow. There we are then. Gebra can go up on the screen. There we are. Cool. Gebra will sit on the top of the screen for today. There we are. Guess how many Argalia images I have? Far too many. Anyway, as, alas, 'tis true the punishment wrought upon our merry band hath severely outweighed the crime. Wouldst thou not agree, young Heathcliff, that to put the coupons to use would remedy thy pain a smidge? Ah, bugger it. I ain't even got anyone to spruce up for anymore. Sweet then, can I use it? We were regulars at that mollusk place, Pepper and me. Pepper does the middle fan for a favour and he bring loads of coupons back home. They give away a hair coupon every 10 visits, you see, so... what am I even yapping about, all excited? Kira, who seemed ready to launch into a cheerful rant, came to a pause like a bike tripping over a ledge. Her face fell as she lowered her gaze and scuffled a pebble away. Looking back, I guess Papa did hella care for me, so why... No, he didn't, he just gave you gifts. And pretended he did. It's also true that these guys went out of their way to get me out there, even though they didn't know me so well. Why's it gotta be so complicated? Matthias gave you that unaesthetic BC? That's a BC. Bowl cut. Bro, listen, like I said, that's not how you shorten these things. That's not really a bowl cut. If that's a bowl cut, yours is a bowl cut. I'd call that like a wolf cut. Like, hold on. Like, I guess that's slightly longer. Like, hold on. Like, if anything. Sort of similarities there. Hold on. Other examples of a wolf cut. Honestly, the problem is that the hair all tends to be a little bit too large. Like, it's too long. If it was longer, then it would be. But, like, this is closer than, like, a bowl cut. Like, this is a bowl cut. It's not really a bowl cut. Hers is, if anything, hers is closer to a bowl cut that's grown out. Hello, Piggy, you appear to be... Why are you being silenced? By who? Who is silencing you? Anyway. Puff. For some reason, Roshi seemed almost gleeful to hear Kira correcting her acronym. YouTube? Damn. It was reminiscent of that self-satisfied look she get after confusing us with these acronyms, especially during the early days of our bus journey. Thinking back, ever since Sinclair's transition... Man dreams of bread. Translation becomes reliable enough. The sinners had less reason to voice their frustration with Roshi's acronyms, which in turn gave her fewer causes to snake about. The first two messages I wrote, hello, hello, and both failed to send. Damn. That's rough. Well, hello to you, Piggy Gamer. Welcome. I'm not sure why, but something tells me she might be making her acronyms ridiculously incomprehensible on purpose. If your conjecture is correct, Executive Manager, she has one tasteless sense of humour. From what I recall, the toys and games you were into were pretty retro. Must have been annoying to play along. At first, but the more I played along, the more I got into it. Still corny and juvenile as shit, though. I know aught of that conflict within thee. Trifling and apocryphal as they may be, yet we're all compelled to peer hindwards at the interests of the family. Sorry, hold on. What retro games did he play? Why does she talk like a modern-day gamer if she likes retro games? Is she about to pull out the ASCII games, too? She's an open TTD fan! Yeah, Yeah, I know what Papa was really into, to really get what he was talking about. Doesn't need to know these things when I chat him up and talk about a mutual subject, so... They tell me about you all the time, Yoshihide. Proud shit. Not a day went by with them saying stuff like, Yoshihide learned this in 2 days, or, yo, this was Yoshihide's fave, you know? Too bad I wasn't here to tell you his words weren't worth shit. I once thought him the same as you do now. A good man, at least amongst the nurse fathers, caring enough to bring me gifts. But one day I realized that he'd never really understand the things I really cared about, even if his life depended on it. One day, thou sayest? Pray tell, was there aught that had changed thy perception of that man? That... I don't remember when or why, just that it happened. Wait a minute, no, this wasn't something that happened at school. Papa told me things started getting awkward between you and him ever since you quit school. Bullshit, I've never been to school. I never even thought of wanting to go to school. Matthias must have been talking out of his ass again. Huh? No way, bro, I even saw a clip of it. A clip. Really, a clip, you say? Papa showed me that video when he was teaching me how to use these doors. I even saw baby you going, I'm off to school, Dad, in that video, so I'm pretty dang sure. But I don't... As Kira went on... Hello, Gregor, welcome. As Kira went on, Ryoshi's confidence from initial retort seemed to slip away. I couldn't blame her. So much of her memory had been mutilated. Matthias, clip that. Clip Ryoshi going off to school. Ryoshi didn't sound like she was denying it. Out of hand, though. She seemed to mean it when she said she'd never been out of school and... never been to school and never even wanted to. I want to glimpse the fragment of memory that made her say that. And then when I willed it, the scene from our past suddenly flashed across my eyes. Very well, Yoshihide. I would register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school. There is a subsidiary of the Ring. Academy. You sure it was a school, not like an art academy or something like it? Perchance it be an academy, not a school? Wait, that kind of makes more sense, yeah. Must have been an academy, not a school. Academy of Art. Huh. Ryoshi muttered a few words as though a piece of a puzzle she was assembling. Then after a brief moment she turned to me with a astounded scoff and a look of mild irritation. Clock. You deserve a smack. Then lightly smacked me upside the head with a scabbard. What was that for? This memory sucks, Clock. Would have been just fine without it. But at least I got to remember the incident that changed my perspective on Matthias. Dad, how do I go to a school? School, Yoshihide? Well, I don't see why you'd wish, let alone need, to go to such an institution when we nurse fathers are here to provide you with all the education you require. You would later find our unique style of homeschooling to be much more enlightening than trudging through any of the Nest's formulaic education systems. But, Dad, I saw him in a picture book, and I don't have any friends here. Oh, Ryan is pointless. But it is true there are qualities that can be learned only through group erudition that engenders competition. Very well, Yoshihide. I shall register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school. Really? I intend to send Yoshihide to an academy as part of my educational curriculum. There is an Academy of Art, a subsidiary of the Ring. Companionship with other talented children of approximately her age will nourish the spirit of inspiration that will guide Yoshihide's growth. The prescript approves. But Callisto, I'll tell you now that you might be making a mistake. And how are you so certain of that? Do elaborate if you can, hand puppet the prescripts by whom every aspect of existence is articulated. What do you even know of choice, of what is right or wrong? And off they went. Perhaps a little more situational awareness would have prevented what is to come. Callisto had found me a rather decent academy. The artworks that used to scare me when I was alone weren't so bad when I saw other kids. No, that's not quite it. It'd be more accurate to say that I started to understand people's perspective on beauty. Of course I would, when all I ever did was nod along to the lecturers and spout purple prose, all the while making pincushions out of people's bodies like it was nothing. Our lesson today will focus on corporist techniques. Something interesting I've learned whilst I've been doing research into the schools of the Ring, every one of the major Ring factions we hear about are all descended from the Impressionist styles, which is really interesting because the only style that isn't based on Impressionism is corporism. And the reason it isn't based on Impressionism is because it doesn't exist. Corporism is a fake style. It does not exist as a doctrine, whereas every other skill from, well, Impressionism, which hasn't been mentioned in Limbus Company, leads on to pointillism, leads on to Fauvism, or Forthism, which then leads on to Cubism. Cubism then leads on to Supremacism, Der Blue Reiter, and other... I mean, Der Blue Reiter might be more from Fauvism, but I'm not sure. As well as basically every modern art style comes from Cubism, which is really interesting because despite being one of the most major and most influential art styles ever, which honestly you could call it the Beatles of art movements and you wouldn't exactly be wrong, we know nothing about it in Limbus Company, that is. I do also owe Fauvism an apology. Turns out, Fauvism started as an insult. The name Fauvism. It was an insult off of the way they painted. They were calling them wild animals. That's what Fauvism literally translates to. It's like wild beasts. So it's actually really clever to have them be so focused on animals and the like, because that's what they are. They are dwarves. Like, hold on, let me pull up Google Translate. It's like les fauves. The wild beasts. That's the literal translation of les fauves. This was quite literally what they were called because of how they painted. So to make them all about animals, the wild beasts, is actually really clever. It's a good take on it. Anyway. Now take a good look at the diagram here, then the mannequins before you. Weave the blood vessels in the same pattern as the diagram. But anyway, the point I was meaning to make, corporism. The reason why corporism is out of style at the point we see it is because all that sort of humanism style, focus on the human body, etc., and accurate depictions that corporism calls for, weren't in style at the time. It's actually quite accurate. The period that we're seeing here in Limbus Company, albeit we should be seeing slightly earlier, that style between World War I and World War II was incredibly popular for Neo-Impressionism and all its descendants. Cubism was a very, very influential style at the time. So Fauvism was the original Gorsop? No. No, because Fauvist art actually looks like this. This is what Fauvism looks like. And YouTube, ignore the nudity because it's artistic. So I get to show it. This is what Fauvism looks like. But due to the fact that at the time all the salons and all the schools of art were heavily into more realistic, more make everything look, you know, pristine, perfect, accurate to humanity, then painting like this was seen as like wild, garish, horrible. How could you ever paint something like this? You must be wild animals for, you know, ignoring the times so clearly. So this is what they were being called les fauves for. All of this sort of stuff. So this is what, basically, you start out with pointillism. Also, by the way, Henry Matisse. Henry Matisse's full name, Henry Matisse is one of the founders of Fauvism. His full name is Henry, it's Henry, hold on, let me find it. Henri, sorry. Henry, you've heard of Henri Matisse, because his full name is Henri Emile Benoit Matisse. AKA the maestro we see. Which is really interesting that he's just called a maestro of Fauvism, because he's the founder. He's the one who created it. But anyway, you see pointillism, which is actually an insult, by the way. Pointillism was originally called deconstructivism. The creator of pointillism, who's Sagan, I believe. No, Seurat and Sagnac. Georges Seurat. He called it deconstructivism. No, divisionism, sorry. He called it divisionism, but then art critics insultingly called it pointillism as a way to sort of go, it's just all dots. Because the idea is, you know how printers and TV screens, they're all a bunch of LEDs that are supposed to be really close to each other to just show colors. Like, all of these colors you can see here, none of these are real colors. We're just seeing various amounts of RGB that are really close together to give our eyes the impressions of colors when we see those pinpoints. That is what pointillism aims to do. So, when you see this, a lot of pointillist works, this is one of the most famous, Sunday Afternoon in the Island of La Grande Yatta, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce that. You're supposed to actually observe this from afar. Color printers are actually using pointillism. Yeah, they are. Because you're supposed to, all the different colors are supposed to blend into each other to create the bigger picture. You're not supposed to focus on the individual dots. If you focus on the dots, you're missing the point. You're missing the forest for the trees if you observe a pointillist work as purely pointillism. Anyway, moving on from Fauvism, we then end up with Cubism. Now, Cubism is the real, this is what really sets the world alight. This Cubism then ends up leading into a ton. This is one of the most famous, Picasso is one of the most famous Cubist painters, but this is more the general style of Cubism. The idea is that you capture the entirety of a 3D work rather than by showing one singular perspective. You have to show multiple different perspectives. Still on a flat canvas, but by showing multiple different perspectives, you give the work a 3D appearance while still following the constraints of the canvas. Now, Cubism is really cool. Cubism blows up. Cubism, worldwide a thing, and it's from Cubism we end up seeing Futurism, which is this sort of style stuff, which is like a Cubism, but in time rather than space. You end up with Destilge? This sort of stuff, which I'm sure everyone will have seen this. I'm fairly certain there's even a BTD 6 map based on this style of art movement. Other stuff, suprematism. Suprematism, sorry, not supremacism. Suprematism. I wonder if the Ring has a scientist subfaction. That would be pointillism, because pointillism itself was actually based on color theory. Pointillism was based on the newly developed at the time color theory idea of using complementary colors to blend them into a single thing. That's why, by the way, the Ring researchers we see in Canto VI are pointless, because pointillism is the scientifically minded artist thing. Soviet constructivism? Ah, yeah. I'm fairly certain constructivism was also created by it, but yeah, and then also you see Art Deco. Art Deco, which basically inspires most modern Art Deco here, most modern architecture. This was created by Cubism. Cubism is so major for so much, and is also, Art Deco is one of my favorite architecture styles, as well as Art Nouveau, which you can see recommended immediately, because Art Nouveau is far more flowy than Art Deco. Please show my favorite suprematist painting. Black Square. Wikipedia. Hold on, let's go. Let's just, hold on. We're not going to talk about how I spelled that wrong. Yeah, anyway, so I just find it really cool. The faction that is the most influential we know nothing about. And I'm really curious to see how they do Cubism, just because of how influential it is on the entirety of modern appearances of things. Anyway. Now, take a good look at the diagram here and then the mannequins before you. Weave the blood vessels in the same pattern as the diagram, and then... no, wait, let me move my camera down. I just realized my wild hand movements aren't showing up on camera. Oh, now you can see the fact that my headphone cord is weird. Been broken for a while. I really should get a new one, but it just keeps tangling. Anyway, yeah. I don't even learn about corporate stuff in this day and age. Right? I don't think I get what the point of the slog is. Tying and shaping blood vessels to make a color a drop of ink can do better. I read that in a book. Hold on. If I just put my arm like that. There we are. So, I'm more excited to learn about Cubist techniques than this crap. Honestly, why is this washed up movement even a part of the curriculum? Just boring, shallow gore stuff. Gore slop! Gore slop! It's gore slop! Finally, I've been vindicated. Other members of the Ring actually get art. It's painted by the actual founder of the movement. Amazing. Anyway, yeah. It's gore slop! It's gore slop! Finally. Vindicated. No, it's... Yeah, it's gory, but it's boring and shallow only because you guys are bad at it. What? Ah, you're mad because your daddy's a lame corporist. Oh, is he? No wonder his stuff is just... I was taught by people who say bad things about family deserve to get their butt kicked. Then bad-mouthing Killstow wasn't actually what set me off. I didn't have any special reverence or attachment to family like Matthias did either. Butcher slop. It's butcher slop. It's butcher slop. It's all butcher slop. It's just what I was taught to dislike. That's all. Just one of those tantrums kids that age have. Kids be kids and all that. I'm home, Dad. Hey, buddy, you're home early. Oh man, must have been playing rough today, huh? You got dust all over. Got into a fight. A fight? Yeah, they kept saying dumb things about class stuff, so I smacked them. What about you? They didn't hit you anywhere, did they, buddy? On my cheek, but it's okay, because I punched them this many times. Did I do good? That's my girl. Dad? Where are you going? Oh, you know, just got some business to take care of. Why'd you sit tight and work in a colouring book? That'd be home for you know it. Oh no. Okay, is it bro business? Isn't it crazy how children's the only one who acknowledge the art? Yeah. No, it's family business. Ain't so much so bad about taking care of your own. I'm just not. This is why he's getting the Ricardo ID. And Sonny doesn't learn respect unless you beat it into him. Haha. If only been a simple-minded fool like you, then the story would have ended right there with a pat on my head. What? Papa, I mean the middle doesn't stop there. It never does. You had a member of the family. That ultimately gets you written up in the book. He did what he did in the end. Oh god. Huh? Ah, there you are, Yoshihide. Is class starting already? My diligent little girl. Wonder who she takes after. Dad? I know. I said I'd be back before you know it, but I got a bit lost trying to find my way through the ring bastards' tricky mazes. You know how they are. Oh yeah, and there's so many sniveling brats here. Well, that's for their crimes. They slapped my buddy's face hard enough to leave a mark. That's an arm for you. As the instructors as well. Anyone would agree they did one sorry job of keeping these tykes under control. In that case, pursuant to Title 2, Section 52 of the book, execution by beheading. They clearly don't much got use for what sits on the shoulders, eh? How'd you like it, buddy? Papa's the best, ain't he? How dare he? Such senseless, barbaric violence. Pulled a relic on a child, a middle school teacher? Yeah! Yeah, he really did. Leviathan against, like, a primary school teacher. Not even a kindergarten teacher. Senseless, barbaric violence. Uncultured, uncivilized animal. Do not be discouraged, dearest Yoshihide. I've eyed out yet another academy worth of your talents. It is a much more significant and prestigious institution this time. I assure you, even an intemperate berserker like Matthias don't dare force his way in such a place as he did the previous academy. Don't wanna... Yoshihide? I don't want to go to academy, I don't want to go. I don't need friends anyway. All his posturing, nothing that was ever important to me had any significance to Matthias. Atomic bomb versus coughing babies, yeah. He took all of what I mean just to feel good about himself. So I hoped he, more than anyone, would never find out about the things I held dear, because I was afraid he would take them away from me like he did the others. They'd always catch on faster than he had any right to. Every contract that took me away from the House of Spiders made me tremble in anxiety. He was worried about, I don't remember what, but I do know I could never stop thinking about my room. So whatever occupied the room in my absence must have been the most precious thing to me in the world. The sword's going to start rattling. Thank you. The scabbard which had been styling lightly as Ranger Canada passed soon began to rattle audibly. Called it. It's doing that thing again. Ranger patted the scabbard with a gentle, reassuring hand. The scabbard that was once Araya, a memory without attachment. Holy predict, yeah. It appeared to me, almost as though she was pacifying a crying child. Seeing that gesture, Heathcliff briefly cast a solemn yet faintly expectant gaze between Roche's scabbard and my device. He must have been thinking back to his last conversation with Catherine. But Catherine's existence, unlike Araya's, was erased by the golden bow itself. I doubt this device could do anything for Heathcliff at this point. From everything we know, the ringleader's father seems to have been the least awful parental figure in your childhood. Huh, yeah, didn't know that Robo-Unk was such a radical guy. Robo-Unk. He sent you academy like you wanted, he even got angry on your behalf? Oh, hazy memories, almost forgot to mention. A few days after that, Calista left a snowman by my pillow as a gift. It was made of heads. Heads? Yes, decapitated heads from the instant of the academy, threaded together into a sculpture. Thinking back, it was one sorry excuse for an art. He'd totally mistaken if he thought some low-effort bullshit like that could make me feel better. Callisto upscale into immediate Callisto downscale. Could've spared us details less. Man, Callisto's not too bad. Callisto made a snowman out of children's skulls. Callisto immediately moves back down the list. It's so funny they do the equivalent of a puppy blender just so people stop talking about how Callisto wasn't so bad. Yeah, no, they really saw people going, oh, Matthias isn't so bad. Oh, Callisto isn't so bad. To, you know, yeah, no, Matthias killed an entire school's worth of preschoolers and Callisto turned them into art. Amazing. Like, peak writing. Hang on. What's up? Gotta get that luscious treat before heading back? Shut it. You, that ain't it. Look here, those blokes walking out of the salon. 4 of us, ain't they? They found us. It'd not be odd to find a field branch of the Ring's art moving in different districts of the city. Oh, whoops. However, various evidence, such as the mask and the fact that our group has immediately drawn their attention, suggests they're in the same pack as the one making regular incursions into the House of Spiders. I love surrealism. Surrealism is my favourite art movement too. Surrealism is my personal favourite. This is LCB, seeking Team Leader Alan, requesting immediate commencement of lockdown sequence. Copy that. Then why don't we... Holy shit, guys, stop! Bloody hell, what? Do you know where you are? You're smack dab in the middle protected turf. Cause a scene of bros and sisters in the middle will be here any second. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem. We've already drawn the ring zone under attention. We suddenly want the middle coming after us to the House of Spiders too. Sounds like you got a GI. Talk. Ever played whack-a-mole? Good idea. Okay. Like, why give ourselves a countdown? Just head back through the door now and beat up whoever thinks it's a great idea to walk in through the door. She puts forth a sound strategy, Executive Manager. As long as no high-ranking alphas are among them, it would be to our benefit. Well then, let's do as Kira says. To be honest, I expected Ricardo out of nowhere. Same here, yeah. Huh, that was quick. Alan blinked, shooting us a puzzled look. His entire squad came pouring through the door long before he finished setting up the lockdown sequence. Due to newly emerged complications past the door, we've concluded this location is the optimal point to intercept and engage the infiltrators from the ring. This location, you say? Ah, wait. That door leads to a zone in the Syndicate's all wing protection, doesn't it? Better idea to fight here, then. Happy to work with someone quick on the uptake. That wasn't long before the four of us began pushing through the door. I didn't want to summon them while they're relaxing, but, well, it can't be helped. And I summoned the Sinners back to work. It really seems like it would be better for the Sinners to just come along with us, so they know when they're going to be called to battle. Hell yeah, the good music! We really got no lust. Okay, this is a decent way. Hold on, this is a decent way to get the lust. Res, there we are. Sure, that'll work. Studio EM is just so good at music, man. Okay, he locked in? No way. Right. Not gonna lie, I kind of dislike the amount of clashable counters in this game. The problem is that normal counters suck ass. By the both Ring Faust and Hong Lu, my company got to borrow. Thank you, but I am sadly already borrowing Ring. What's her face? Ring. How have I forgotten her name? Rhodia. I know if we're friends. I believe we are. I do believe we are. Yeah, no, I'm already running Ring Rhodia, sadly, or else I would. Normal counters suck, write him in the Book of Vengeance. They are the only people that have good normal counters. The only people. Because, like, the problem is, otherwise, you're just taking damage for no reason. Also, I have to say, I didn't pick up on it before, but now looking at it more closely, the fact that the ring gains benefits from multiple different individual statuses is quite cool. With the way pointillism works as, you know, a blending of different paints that aren't mixed together directly, it's quite cool. It's a neat touch. Anyway. Clashable cannons don't even counter afterwards against unclashable mass attacks. Oh, do they not? That's quite funny. But they just attack normally. Clashable counters, if they win a thing, just attack. That's why counters don't trigger again. Because it doesn't matter. If they triggered again after being hit, they would trigger twice. Clashable counters really are just like an alt skill 1 you can get anytime. Doesn't really explain how they apply all those different statuses. They've just got their entire, like, palette with them. They just pull out their palette on occasion. Also, wow, that is a lot of... I've never seen that much from the ring IDs stacked. Like, outside of MD, that's quite funny. Wow. Okay, I guess we're doing Slothres now. No, actually, no, we are. Oh, well, I guess we are, because everybody else is dead. Sure, fine. Didn't Ring Otis have a palette of exclusively red? Yes, yes, she did. We are going to look over that, actually. I'm loving playing with actual bleed count. You wouldn't believe it, but playing with actual bleed count surprisingly makes your team more effective. Anyway, I can probably just hit all damage here. It's a real surprise, but moving away from the Blood Fiends to people who can hold a bleed stack, it's incredible stuff. So how's everyone enjoying the raid boss? I haven't tried out the raid boss myself yet because, you know, I mean, rather obviously, I haven't tried them out yet. It would be slightly awkward for me to before even fighting them normally. How's the Intervalor treating you so far? Honestly, I'm really liking it. I'm liking it far more than part 1 and 2 of Canto IX. So it's like how LobCorp have bullets? Yeah. Raid boss is turn 1 reset slot? Ah. I see. Good to know. When can I get... Okay, nearly. One thing about the Canto is, it really feels like it... I mean, the Intervalor, it really feels like it should have been part of the Canto. There's so much story compared to the usual Intervalors. Okay, and that about wraps up the middles corridor. Just bring the right team of die. Oh, amazing. I bring the right team all die. Yeah, incredible. Can I rant about raid boss for this event? Once I get to them. Once I get to them. I might not get to them this stream because I sadly have very little time to stream today, and tomorrow I have something else going on. Definitely not a collab with anyone. It's not a stream, it's just a recording. But, anyway. Okay, and that about wraps up the middles corridor. Thanks to you folks who managed to cut the door cataloging work by 80%. I really appreciate everyone going to the extra mile to check each and every door too. Made my life a whole lot easier. It's all thanks to the manager's excellent strategization. Next up, the thumbs corridor. We actually found a lot of intel lying around there, so we just needed to check some of the doors in its basement. Intel? The manager expresses interest in this aforementioned intel. Ah, that. In the Thumbs corridor we came across a bundle of papers detailing the coming and goings of the Thumbs members and the orders they were carrying. Whoever wrote the laws has been diligently keeping them updated. The last entry was written not so long ago. While the contents of this note weren't all that interesting, they helped to get an idea of where each door in that corridor leads to. Valencina's shitty scrap papers. She'd been keeping up with the useless shit that whole time? Ha. Useless shit? Remnants of her desperate search for a thread to cling to. You found one of her backup ticket hoards. I've marked any doors that need done with the drone. There should be about 3 or 4 of them. While you guys do that, I've got leftover work to take care of over here, so... I've been noticing this throughout our interactions. Whenever irrelevant to his work came up, Alan seemed to have a way of unhearing and maneuvering right past it, as though he didn't even register what was said. Recalling our conversations with Cesar back at P-Corp, that deeply uncurious indifference might just be one of the essential personality traits to go on as a corporate employee in the city. Understood. We'll explore the areas past the marked doors and return here. Thanks a ton. Well then. We'll hand return you where the other Wayfarer employees were huddled around. We decided to follow the corridor to the left. Hey, there's someone in here. More of the ring, maybe? Going by the silhouettes, the unlikely members of the ring. Come on, lady, get out of my way so I can see. It's the detective, some stubby guy I don't know, and that annoyingly airy dude. Sounds like Moses, Gregor, and Honglu, respectively. The trio's conversations grew clearer the closer I approached them. You okay, fella? You bumped your head earlier. Ah, fine's a fiddle. It was just a minor fall. This is the 3rd time it's occurred. We had to discuss this with the manager once consultation is over. Brain tumor? Honglu brain tumor? Why have I been pinged? Okay. I think as I'm seeing a bump on the side of Honglu's head. You know what to do, right? If any moment you see signs of... Don't worry, Gregor. You made it through the explanation and the footage both. You can be fine again. I believe in you. Look at you now. We're right where it happened, but your arm is stable, see? Ironically, fear tends to be almost unmitigated when it's distant and unseen. I understand what you might be worried about, but I don't even see the earliest portents of it. So don't hesitate to share the unfiltered thoughts that arise while you're in here. I know what I saw in the footage, but I'm having a hard time believing it. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm just avoiding the truth when it's staring me right in the face. In my case, nothing at Don Quixote's. She needs to keep her shoes on, it's all good and dandy for her, isn't it? Things don't work out that way, for me. What are they talking about? Sounds hella deep, guys. You sure about eavesdropping on it like this? That geezer's always weirdly cagey about himself. Maybe now's our chance to learn more about him. He shared such an interesting secret about himself once. Why walk away? Don Quixote gives a nonsensical interpretation of Roche's acronym as Kira rolls her eyes out of exasperation. Between the bickering sinners and Kira, however, Oda stands in silence with an inscrutable look on her face. She's listening to the exchange between Moses and Gregor like a woman possessed. Okay, let's keep listening then. War vet listens to somebody recount PTSD. Otis is right, damn it. She's right all along. The war isn't over. It never was. It can't ever be as long as this fucking joke of a gift stays attached to my arm. Barbed words. Now let's revisit a question you couldn't answer while the footage was playing. Hopefully it's become easy to answer now. You've been using that arm to fight so far, just fine so far. How? I don't mind killing hostiles or enemies. I'm not the kind of person who worries about people trying to kill me. Killing my comrades, that changes things, doesn't it? I can't even control it. There's nothing I can do to even brace for it. It's unstoppable. Like some kind of time bomb countdown to unleash a disease you never know. You never know when its symptoms set it off. Even Heathcliff, who was always the first to step up when people began to spiral into self-hatred, stood in conflicted silence, his lips drawing a hard, straight line. Besides, Gregor wasn't wrong in that. At present, there wasn't any way to stop his transformation should it occur again. We've still got a good chunk of the journey left, and eventually we'll have to... No matter what lurks in the past of us sinners, even if they've killed hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of innocent people, will we still embrace them? We'll eventually have to confront an even darker, bleaker truth of the war. Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under that inevitable pressure? I see. You're afraid you'll end up hurting us. Well, that's... At first I couldn't give it a hoot whether or not I accidentally murdered somebody. It's a bit saddening to hear that. You know how it is, Hongley. We, the bus team, didn't exactly get off to a rockin' good start. But through our journey, I've begun to think of you all as my comrades. I was okay with that because I had too much faith in my own weakness. She is so from the Index. The Otis from the Index. I would say a Nujat myself, but... when I noticed I'd grown so weak I couldn't even take down some backstreet slug with this arm, I was relieved. Imagine that, the same arm, my arm, a weapon that stabbed the heart out of countless people during the smoke war. I'll be honest, when that Honheim fella said I was an exception, the thought alone made me hope. Exception, a potentially hardness, weak and even non-combatant like you sang. It made me hope for a life that didn't sound so bad. We all know that one though, blew up in the worst possible way. And after all that, I just couldn't bring myself to fight again, because I no longer knew this fear would eat me up again, because I'm constantly afraid of this damn gift manifesting again. The same fear you carried all this time. How'd you endure it before? Badly, barely, holding on to the air. This thing's got to live on and nothing else. This really brings back years. The memory's so clear, it's like they all happened yesterday. Best you kick me off the bus before push comes to... That can't be the answer, Gregor. You can walk away, but the danger of the journey won't leave you. Dante and the rest of us will still be facing an endless repeat of peril. And it's not like leaving the bus will bring peace to your heart. Our deaths can be reversed should an accident occur, even if it comes at the cost of Dante's suffering. The same can't be said for most people in the city. Now that's something I never expected to hear from you. I guess you're right. If we're seeing through this to any kind of end, it would be the place to do so. Not many places in the city have some warmth to them like this one does. Boy, this consultation thing's pretty embarrassing. I mean, it's not like I was forced to go through something as traumatizing as yours, Hongley. Truth be told, I'm not some special case. Everyone who participated in that war must have gone through more or less the same experience. Miss Moses, Otis, and even Valencina, that piece of work. Man conflicting and trying to compare other suffering is more important than his own. Classic case. Not just man, I was more meaning just person who has suffered, trying to put off their own suffering. We can't attach a number to misfortunes if there's something to be measured. When I fled from my past, I tried my hardest to avert my eyes from it, but you, Gregor, you're not like me. Every few steps that distance you from the past, you come to a pause to spare a look towards the path you had walked. All those years I let slip by, all those that slipped by you are dotted with fathoms of suffering that are both ineffable and beyond measure. Different experiences, different pain. Still, if there's one thing in common to everyone, it's the trauma leaves after effects that linger for a long time. What are yours? I dislike loud noises and people that talk too much. They sound too much like the cacophony of the war. Like screaming comrades who resented me even as they lay dying, and the wounds they left in my heart bled me dry. But I thought you were fond of Miss Ezram, Miss Moses. I've talked too much. That aside, haven't you heard your fill? Might as well come from that corner you're hiding in. How's my day going so far? Pretty good, thank you. Pretty good, thanks for asking. Oh man, then you've been dropping eaves this whole time? That's not how that works. I was actually waiting for the right time to come out and say a few words, but I just couldn't find an appropriate moment to... Ah well, I would have had shadows to manage about the rest of you fellas sooner or later, so I don't really mind, but... This reminds me of when I was in the smoke war. The war type shit. What you doing here? TA. Temporary ally tagging along? No, temporary accompaniment. Damn an asshole. I'm working my ass off to help you guys. Group therapy casting, abused child turned barely caring noble, abused child turned veteran with PTSD squared, veteran with PTSD turned chronicle smoker with schizo powers. So true. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You're right on time. I've been working a theory, but I don't really have all the clues to be absolutely certain. A word from someone in the know may immensely prove my confidence in the theory. Stop. Oh god. Kira, do you know which door the thumb's North Father was most attached to? Huh? No, duh. Duh? It's supposed to be obvious. Didn't you guys all see her? You think I could chat up a scary lady like that? Dude, she was beating the ever-loving shit out of Lucio every time I saw them together. Oh yeah, he went down fighting you guys to the end, huh? Yeah, said stuff about her generosity and all that, and fought till he died. Damn, that's unexpected. Been real for a sec, I thought he was totally gonna swap sides. Really, that lad? Why's that? You know, the vibes. You guys don't know because you haven't seen him long without the scary lady always looming over him. What's up? Gonna stab her right in the spine? You... Look, I think you might be training wrong, because you're not improving as much as you should from all that grind. Let me show you what I learned about swords things from this comic book. It's not how my masters instructed me. The textbook cannot be permitted to even have a single deviation if it means to repay the debt it owes her. Why are you so obsessed with all that crap anyway? You don't even like that old lady. But you're not so different from me in that regard, are you? Bro, the heck are you talking about? I love my papa. Seriously, I thought things would crash and burn before Yoshida even came home. Suppose textbook and I had that in common. If this one doesn't know, let me redirect that question towards you, Cineroshi. Hopefully this touched upon one of your intact memories. Do you know which of these doors and the thumb nurse father showed particular attachment to? Or door she used most often? Amazing. Why ask me? Fine. Yes, I do remember. Don't even need clock's help to piece back together. It's that one. The door with the metal pieces hanging from it. Holy shit, I almost died out there. Son of a bitch, a fucking fly. Where those G-Corp fucks even drag those gross pests from? Mum, are you okay? Do I look okay to you, Ticket? No, not really. I'm fine. You know I don't break easy. You should have been there to see me tear the head off that G-Corp vermin, Ticket. But, Mum, your leg's bleeding a lot. Here comes another mission. Boy, they really can't do shit without me, huh? So much for a break. The fuck is this? Bandages for you. Is this kid serious? They got truckloads of expensive treatments and they're ready to patch me up the moment I get back to the field. Well, okay, never mind that. Hey, this works. Mum? Sit tight and don't start any trouble. I'll teach you some sword techniques when I'm back. Must have been years in the smoke war. Yeah, fighting the war took a lot out of her and left her perpetually exhausted. But she marched to every battle with a smile, stopped drinking, stopped beating me too. Like a blissful idiot who forgot she was still neck deep in the inescapable pit called the House of Spiders. Well, the ironic peace didn't last. Sometime after the war ended, someone she called the Consigliere of the Thumb visited the House of Spiders as a tutor. And that's when she went right back to drinking herself into shit-faced stupor day after day. The beatings returned, and so did the edge in her profanities. It was pathetic. Hold on, why though? Sure, I was on the losing side, but wasn't Valencia on the winning side? A war hero at that. Ever heard of the regulation that prevents smoke warps from moving to I-Corp and K-Corp nests? The common thread between these post-war rules is that they make the lives of veterans difficult. Dubious rules that don't discriminate between winners and losers. Ruin a reference! Ruin a nowhere! I see. There must have been things going on behind the scenes there too. But does it mean backdrop drops into a trench they dug during the war? Yes, and Gregor will be the one to open it. Wait, me? Yes, others can do it for you, but what will be the point? Sure this won't just end up giving him more nightmares? I don't see how this helps in any way. We don't have any means to treat whatever slumbers within his arm. However, I would surmise the underlying cause of his symptom transformation wasn't the arm itself. Then what? It's trauma. His arm took control after his psyche was crushed by the weight of the unspeakable memories coming back to haunt him. Is it not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving his painful past? It's not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving his painful past. It's the other way around. Isn't that so? If you can understand that war is really over, and that what others say, no matter how close the echo of the past, is not necessarily aimed at you, you may be able to loosen your grip on fear and the anxiety your arm could metamorphose at any moment. Well, suggesting may seem blunt, it's one of the basic treatment principles in MCORP's psychotherapy centers. Fine, then. Guess I'll open it up. Gregor walked up to the door, grabbed its handle, then paused, taking slow, deep breaths. And with an arm, he gently opened the door. Why are you running? You should be taking the lead on the front lines with that G-Corp banner held high. I don't want to die. It's nice to have a place to go back to. Alright, happy 15th birthday. You can't have possibly have the cheek to call me cruel. You G-Corp pests were far more messed up than I ever was, ripping people apart, cannibalizing them. You know them as a swarm of fucked up monsters. I thought I'd woken up from the dream, but I was still... Uh-oh. Emperor time. Memories. Never mind Fathoms of Ego, maybe? Man, I love the supports. Oh, what? Oh, fixed member needed. Oh, and he needs to be on the field. Yeah, okay. Who can I drop? You aren't that important, really. Neither of you are that important. Yeah, okay. I can deploy like that. Didn't he get his arm on his 15th? He might have done. I'm unsure. This place. It's just a boring old office. I was ready to be shook, thinking I'm about to walk in a war zone or something. You recognize this place? Heh, of course I do. My last job before Limbs Company. And my desk was over there. I saw it was Yuri. Trust me, I saw it was Yuri. Here's the tip, fellas. When you work in an office like this, always get a corner desk facing the wall if you can help it. Lets you hide from the boss man. Out of sight, out of mind, you know. You can do whatever you want that way. Work, chill, or even freak out and tear out the slightest sound of metal clinking. Nobody will catch you. Nobody will think you're a bother to other people. Gregor grins, a bitter, mocking smile directed at himself. The only downside of this desk arrangement being people walking out behind me to get my attention. Higher-ups had to holler, "Hey, vet hire," and I'd just got to ride up to them, but others can't do that. So whenever people walked up from behind, I'd get afraid that I might cause an accident. Vet hire must be at the post-war veteran special employment. Right, but I couldn't possibly complain. Wouldn't have gotten that job without it, you know? Not everyone's lucky enough to be considered for that. I was better off than most. Gregor? Head manager Ted? Gregor whipped around, his hand instinctively leaping to his other arm. This unfamiliar man in a clean suit standing behind us. It really is you, Gregor. And I see some new faces with you. Oh wait, you must be the account you guys on the other team asked us to leave the meeting room open for. Landed your job, huh? I see you got a new employee card right there. Well, so how have you been doing? Me? Same old, same old. Well enough. It's not like I've got anywhere else to go, right? I'm not surprised you found new work so soon. You're always a dependable guy. Is the pay good? How's life, man? Oh yeah, you're gonna sell that commemorative coin. Some kind of medal, right? Hope you got paid good money for that. Look at me asking how's life to a fellow citizen. Can't imagine anyone would have anything good to say to that, huh? Moving on. Hope no one's handing you with vet hire shit over there. No, not at all. That's none of that here. Hey, that's good to hear, man. Glad you don't have to deal with that dang jackass and exec VP messing you with like he was a war veteran himself. You know how many years I had to hear that geezer bragging about how he profiteered from the war, pulling himself up by his brute saps, now everyone in peril is an opportunity waiting to be found. Blah, blah, blah. I'm preaching the choir, aren't I? That guy, huh? He's just taking his sauna breaks during work hours? What do you think? His seat misses his ass every day. Oh, and get this. Remember I used to call you special employment fellas Nepo Force? A few days ago, his name showed up in the HR report. Guess what it said? Turns out he was loaning his pocket kickbacks when we were choosing the fixer office for a partnership project. There's about to be a vacancy in office real soon. Really? Isn't he, an actual Nepo? I thought he was the president's family. Yeah, man, it's that bad. It's what anyone ever talks about by the water cooler. If there's anything I learned here, it's people obsessed with it. Back in my days are all kind of like him. They hate how the glory days are behind them. Kind of like a distraction from how pathetic they are now. And hey, a backstreet kid like myself don't have glory days to look back on and yearn for, right? I look back and it's all doom and gloom. You know, if you ever hit rock bottom, you also know the only way left to go is up. You've said something like that before, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it's my own brand of bullshit philosophy. Oh boy, look at me, running my mouth in front of my customers. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, don't worry about it. That's a pretty unique prosthesis you got there. No worries, but it seems you're on your way to submit those proposals. Gee golly, I'm late. Thank you for snapping me out of it. I'm gonna get one heck of a scolding. Commemorative coin, the ego gift? Oh yeah, that's interesting. So that's his. Anyway, Gregor, hit me up sometime, Let's go out and catch up over a drink or something. Sure, if I get a chance. The man, who seemed like Gregor's former co-worker, hurried away, but he didn't forget to wave us a good-natured goodbye. Yeah, I can see a little bit of him in the way you walk, Gregor. Come on, I don't sound as old as he does, do I? Moses, who had been quietly observing Gregor and his former co-worker, chatted, exhaled a light stream of smoke and slowly began to speak. Many of us who returned from the war seem to suffer from a sudden misconception. When we're told to remember, it does not mean we are bidden to live through the nightmare of the past over and over again. We are not being cursed to relive the pain and suffering. Both Ezra and I, we're still trying to be free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves. It's not like I can remember because I want to. Well, if you can't bring yourself to forget them, might as well include in your memory the fact that the war has indeed ended. Not for long. We're about a few months away from World War II. Fine. You're not wrong there. Gregor stared at the right of his arm for a while, kindly contemplating. Manage a bud. Can't say I give you any reassurance, but just going on with my life seems to be the best answer for now. I want to ask if you're okay with that, though. I'll manage, but it's you who's going to have to deal with the aftermath. Gregor was always say the same to those suffering from the cruelty inherent in living. Still live on. Just live on. Yet even as lips spoke those words, his eye would take on a desperate and unfocused look, shaded beneath despair. IRL or Smoke War 2? Smoke War 2. Smoke War 2. That is what we are about to see. The night before Smoke War 2. Today, the gloomy grey seemed to give way to just a hint of the blue sky beyond. This may be no more than a single ray of sun peering through the dark clouds that have long suffocated the sky. It'll probably take much more than this for the shadows to be fully lifted, but don't you worry. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's a big step for him to address even a little bit of that persistent anxiety from his past. When we emerged from the door, we saw her just facing away from us, her weapon drawn. Well, I don't think she even followed us to the door. Huh? You were here the entire time? Yes. I was told by that elm figure that someone has to stay behind and watch the door during these operations. Of course, the war vet can't get much reprieve from her war vet past. So I stayed and... Ah, man, it's those asshats again. Weird. The corridor's not a place for those newbies to roam around on their own. I do really like the metaphor. To think about the metaphor there, yeah. Gregor is moving on from his past. Gregor is moving out of the smoke war, whereas Otis can't escape it. The war ain't over for Otis, yeah. Weird. The corridor's not a place for those newbies to roam around on their own. Yeah, everyone else gets to leave, but she doesn't. Otis, nobody, or, I mean, Odysseus, more technically, doesn't get to leave. They're still trapped. As you can see, a few uninvited guests have decided to visit through a different door. Look past Otis just in time to see more four of us pouring into the corridor through a different back door. I was trying to find a way to get the nurse father's corridor. We just can't let them through, can we? Kill them all. Okay, Dante. I fairly said that's a war crime, Dante. Anyway, I don't know why I'm caring so much about making my bleed team actually work. I could just hit the go-go win rate button and it would work, but still. I love how everyone sees the cut, thinks it's because there's going to be another Emperor fight stage and us to get an office talk instead. Yeah, I was fully expecting Emperor Part 2. Especially when I had to deploy... Well, I guess deploying Gregor would make that not, but still. Go-go funny numbers, yeah. Alan, Ted, what next? PM, Steve, John? Yeah. The naming system, truly amazing. Right, let's do this, and then, well, that's one-sided. That's also one-sided. Why does that change to be ones? Oh, everyone has counters. Why do you all have counters? They're all clashable counters. You've got to be kidding me. Right, okay. I'm gonna use that, because at least that will activate things. So Canto he straight up called autistic. I don't think they would just call him autistic. It's true, but I don't think they'd say it. Mid-boss would be as well, so they condition us for expecting something? Yeah. There's been so much talking, you just sort of expect that something's about to go wrong. But, no. No, actually, it's just more talking. Power counter, that's a one-sided guard, but at least it activates things, so I kind of need to use it. I wonder how much damage this is going to do. Decent. They're about to explode. Yeah, that's Ring Sinclair. Ring Sinclair? Whoa, no. Ring Yisang. What am I cooking? Ring Sinclair. I've actually just lost it. My favorite ID. Ring Sinclair. Am I alright? Am I, like, mentally right in the head? Finally, a viable Sinclair bleed ID, yeah. How did she fail that so many times at 42 SP? Ring Sinclair would be really funny. That would be cool to see. Nope. Okay. Have you heard of ring slot? Not until now, but it appears we are firmly in ring slot territory. There we go. Index Sinclair to get hand Claire? So true. You can just run all of them at once with like a Unify ID. Oh, okay, that's me. I was worried that I was losing that for a second. That'd be upsetting. Okay. It's only a matter of time until he gets a ring ID? Oh yeah, no, it'll happen eventually. Anyway, yeah, obliterate that guy. Thank you. Trigger the Mark. We just get Mark Claire, just for free. Mark Claire ID when? Anyway, that's the end of that. Right. The Botgak trailer for sweeping? Yeah, but I don't really care about Botgaks. Like, I didn't pay attention to any of the story stuff because, frankly, I don't care. If they want me to pay attention to something, new content. I don't care about them voicing things, frankly. I could not care less. I mean, I just skip over the like, actual revoicing. I did watch the Heathcliff thing. Yeah, I watched the Heathcliff and, whatchamacallit? Heathcliff and Rodeo Ego. Like, for a new player, amazing. Amazing stuff. I'm not a new player. So I just don't care. Once we got the four of us who invaded the Thumb's nurse father's destroyed corridor, we left the indexes. I ran to a few familiar faces, waiting for us at our destination. Huh, don't you guys have today off? Yeah, but I thought it might as well come along. It's, you know, you keep Sonos in the middle of something, so I decided it might actually be more convenient for us to be with you in person. Something occurred at the most unideal moment. Now, I know you weren't doing it on purpose, but all 3 times you saw me, I was leaning over Snap's top with a bunch of whipped cream. Today, I learned that blacking out and waving us a me-shaped indent in a cake I was about to chow down doesn't make for a very relaxing break. Sorry about that. Should check in with you guys before summoning, but I'm still getting used to it. Okay, now you're being too sorry. I know how to feel too, you know? I'm tagging along because I need some exercise, that's all. I appreciate the additional employee assignments. Now, if you could share any information you know about yet another corridor? I hang out here all the time, so I know this place a little. There's a super clingy, annoying little... no, that wasn't the master. There was this other, she's been deleted from existence. Hell yeah. Is there something you don't remember? Alright, Kira doesn't remember Sora. Good riddance. Good riddance. Sora, I don't think that name rings any bells for us either, and nothing of value was lost. So is the Index Apprentice, so she probably lived here. Sooth, the Index Apprentice. Who, pray tell, wherefore is at the middle of the thumb and the ring each to have apprentices, yet the Index and Pinky lack them? It would be quite odd if mere 3 of the 5 fingers kept an apprentice each. Retrace some my recollections, yet following a trail of odorless air, invisible and unreal. No, there was someone, but I can't. The representation of the Pinkies and Index apprentices are missing. No, be more precise, a merciless braid has shredded and reduced them to intangible formlessness. How refreshing to hear that same impression from someone else rather than myself for once. It seemed I was the only one to remember the 2 apprentices. I retraced our first meeting and briefly shared what I knew about Sora. Huh, she doesn't sound like a very forgettable character. She was a very forgettable character. She was an OC. Well, yeah, Arashaki cut her into ribbons. That would explain why it feels as though I'm recalling a sequence of events with the critical part missing in between. Sora who? So true. I can almost imagine her giggling to herself like a creepy loner, and she probably has glasses too, right? Like one of those gloomy introverts from anime. Called out. Called out. So I see. So that's feel like I'm tearing through each strand of a weave. Reissue. Let's say the world's made of strings or threads, clock. With every slash, the blade cutting through the flows of strands that twine to compose one's existence. When an object is severed forever beyond repair, you'd think neither trace nor shape would be left of it. But now the piece sewn it together, it's almost... Instead of elaborating further, Roche fell silent again, save for the sound of the tip of a cigarette turning to ash, like she was recalling yet another incomplete memory. I guess she's trying to avoid over-circulating on what she doesn't know for sure. Damn, that totally breaks them. That's not how you use the word meta. That's not how you use the word meta. That's not breaking any sort of meta. That's not how you use that term. Upstage. she is actually using it properly. She's just power scaling. 4 ramp upstairs room seals to like even make full use of his sword. Also, yours is a trade-off. Your sword totally power creeps. Trade-off? There's plenty already. Oh, so true. Guess you're slashing your memories with a hell of a trade-off. Sorry. That changes the meta completely. She would make a YouTube video about that. I can see her already on the clickbait title. Contribute this corridor. I've got one. It leads to the index I use all the time. Doesn't drop in an army of indexes. TPU, they rarely gather in large groups. New meta. Oh. That's pretty unlikely. Ah, what was that for, Roshi? Wait, you just hit me with that sword handle? Huh? I didn't do anything. But I saw it. I saw Roshi's scatterbird. Araya suddenly joking aside, prodding Sinclair like I was annoyed by something. I won't slap sword scabbard. I'll snap your legs clean until you can barely walk. It doesn't slander or slander this scabbard. Oh, sword. Slander or whatever. Look, you're poking so hard I left my mark on my arm here. When I read too much into it, the scabbard was rattling like he was irritated by something. Stop interpreting for her. That's why she won't stop making up these nonsense acronyms. He's making it worse. I gotta stop him from translating for us somehow. Araya? Wait, that voice just now. It sounded like Araya's. Dante, you saw that too, right? Or I shouldn't do anything. Wait, really? It wasn't her? No. Heh, it's decided. To us, Sinclair, no one else but I saw in full detail how the scabbard came to be. Which means that he couldn't imagine his wildest dreams that the scabbard poked him his own volition. Doesn't seem like any of the sinners heard that voice either. Damn, you guys bully him a whole lot, huh? Well, the lad's been overdue for a little smack upside his noggin. We should head inside. Let's not keep Alan waiting. Kira directed us towards an almost disturbingly normal wooden door, so featureless that it could have been mistaken for any of the dozen doors we've walked past in other nests. Stop the slander, yeah, presumably. We're whiffed by a greasing of stale, musty air the moment we walked through the door. This leads to a basement, and emerged to what appeared to be an almost dungeon-like basement area, with the masked unks. Beeper rang he'd walk through this door. So who are they? The Index. Signs of life. There are people living down here up until a few hours ago. Why are you here, paper slips? We're only executing the prescript. I had up with these prescripts. At least yours don't make annoying beeps. The basement was stocked up with shelf-stable and non-perishable food, and the cells were completely empty save for what looked like a makeshift bathroom in each of them. It is likely this dungeon was used to imprison an individual with varying features that may be required to complete a prescript. Seriously? This room seems to be used for something worse than simple incarceration. Amongst Faust's conjectures that the captives were conditioned in body and mind in various ways to match the prescript's liking. Ugh, sounds like this guy was just crazy as the rest of them. Wait, that staircase right there leads up. Let's check out what's... Freaking annoying, man. The heck you doing? You can't enter through this door. Oh, I see. Another... Not a griefer. I'm body blocking the doorway. Door stuck! Move, I need to see something. Will the prescript refer to? You cannot enter through this door. What do we do? Is it worth forcing our way here? They seem pretty adamant about not letting us in. I'd probably stay as far away from possible as anything has to do with the gods. I mean, prescripts, but nothing in this basement gives any indication of where the door connects to. Addis is right. We need to get upstairs somehow if we want to get an idea where this door leads. If Ren's been using this basement, then I'd like to see what's upstairs. Honestly, learning this door connects to the basement is more than enough intel to cross it off the list. Still, if it has anything to do with Roche's memories... Alright then, let's push through. Execute your command, Executive Manager. The will of the prescript is absolute. Is it though? Why have I been pinged? I see. Oh, this is a focused encounter. They're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. No way. Anyway. Time to brutally murder them all. Never mind, I can't redirect the attacks. Oh no, I can, I just have to do this, and then I... You've got to be kidding me, really? They rolled just enough to prevent me from being able to attack them. Okay, buddy. Okay. The passives here are important to Otis. One place most many. The research of the index, huh? I see. I don't like Gregor being in your team right now. Yeah, I can see that prescript. Look, I'll take him off afterwards. I wasn't meaning to have him there. I just didn't take him off after last time, so. They also have a unique panic type? Interesting. Okay. There we are. All clashing. Okay. What was it? So, prescript incompliance risk. Interesting. And who's it going after now? You. Okay. Favored still. Man, these guys really are frauds. Even with the ability to clash them. You know what? I'll take it with. Yeah, you know what? You can clash that one. Just for a laugh. Frankly, I just want to see what'll happen. Great. What? Okay, anti-lock-in. What is this? Okay, fine. I probably didn't need to slot that many attacks against that guy, considering they were almost nearly dead. Death for them. I love Rules of the Backstreets. More, yet more. Honestly, I wish I could win rate, but like, no. Also, I didn't bring my AoE, so. $56, okay. Okay. Oh, and I also forgot to bring my, correct rodeo. Oh well, that actually works for me, because it means I can take them out quicker. Because it means I actually have AoE attacks. Was I really not clashing with him? I could have sworn I was. Okay, who is it now? It really doesn't matter. The answer to it is, it really doesn't matter, frankly. I'm just gonna kill them anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have sold that all on the same guy, but... Ringsang just roll a 0? Yes, that would be because he was the prescript target. Ring Radio also has A3? A3? AoE. Damn, probably should have brought it then. Oh well. Didn't know. It's because the support system is really well made and fun for making you have to reapply it for every single node you want to use it for. 3 ads I got this on phone keeps on funding your retirement. Thank you, Sealer. Nearly through them all. And now I get access. Well, I mean, Sanguine Desire isn't exactly. Yeah, no, that doesn't quite work. 66 damage, 96, okay. And the stack. Creator code? Are there creator codes for Limbus? Is that something that exists? I don't think Project Moon really pays much attention to the content creators. I hope just one guy left. I mean, like, they do a lot. Like, if you were Project Moon, surely you would pay more attention to the people that make content about your game. Like, it doesn't seem like too unrealistic of an idea to go, hey, if we're releasing something, maybe we should, you know, help out the guys that are driving our popularity in different communities. But, you know, no, they don't. Okay. What's up there? You may speak to me casually, Araya, but in the presence of other princesses, perhaps you find it preferable to return to Decoy Star. Come on, it's not like I'm going to be DK Star. Just let me do what I want while I'm here. Suddenly, you have a point. So what's up there, upstairs? I'm not sure myself. I've never been upstairs. Aren't you even a little curious? Why bother peeling back to the heavens to see what is beyond? Those wanting of yearning needn't raid their head skywars. Am I seeing Araya's memories? Clock, what did you see? I'm not sure, but now they got on the reason to check what's upstairs. Okay. Wait, it's just a MacGuffin. Didn't they sponsor a VTuber? Did they? Anyway, the fact that we are 2/3 through, I am firmly out of time. But this is a good sign. We keep getting through a third each time, which means next stream will hopefully be the last. But yeah, I will be off. Thank you all for dropping by. If you did enjoy, please do consider subscribing and joining the Discord, which isn't here for some reason. Hold on, let me... no, I should probably actually grab the Discord link. That seems like an important thing to have. I may as well just copy like a 7-day lasting one, because it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'll see you all.